personal development. We connected the two to create a company that would take information to people. And so that was our goal. Through this process, two things I learned about information. It was very interesting. And I started sitting back, and here we are, the biggest producers of personal development information. We could put it in somebody's house 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So in essence, we had really maximized the ability to take information using technology and to get it into people's homes. So there's a simple question. Think about this. If information and technology was the answer, would you not agree all the problems we have would be fixed right now? Matter of fact, there's more information today available than there's ever been. There's more technology to get that information to people's than there's ever been. So if information and technology was the answer, there would be no problems. There would be no financial problems. There would be no relationship problems. There would not be any health problems. But that's not the case. The fact is, from a health standpoint, obesity has grown 3 or 4-fold in just the last 20 years. Finances are worse now than they've ever been. We're saving less money today as a society than we've ever had. Relationships have been falling apart at a rate over the last 20 years like we've never seen before. But yet, at the same time, information and technology has grown 10, 20-fold. And so my question is, if information and technology is the answer, would you not agree it'd be going the other direction? Well, the fact is, there's something that makes information and technology work. Think about this. If information and technology was the answer, what I'd do is I'd walk up to, say, an alcoholic. I'd give that alcoholic Alcoholic Anonymous CD. I'd say, congratulations, you're no longer an alcoholic. Because what I did is I took information and I gave it to him through technology. But if that was the answer, he would be fixed, right? Well, that's not the answer. What makes information work is that when you put it in the proper environment and associations. What makes Alcoholic Anonymous work is not because it's just giving the information and technology. You have to have that expands it for them, but you have to change their environment and associations. So that was my first goal. The first thing I learned in building that company is it wasn't just good enough to get information in people's hands. It wasn't just good enough to use technology to expand people's awareness. You had to put people in the proper environment and proper associations to make it work. So that was number one. And that was really the beginning of my thought process for the Slide Edge. After that, the other thing I learned, and this is very, very interesting, here we were with all this information technology, driving it into people's minds, put them in the proper environment associations to absorb that information. But again, I'd watch these people, the sales force, people who really were believers, but again, what I called the choir, what I saw is for many of them, actually most of them, it still didn't work. Because what they didn't have, in my opinion, was a processor. And that was really where the Slide Edge came from. They did not have the ability to take that information, even in the proper environment associations, and process the information in a way to make it work. Because here was the problem. Everybody talking to them was talking to them from a quantum leap standpoint. What I mean by that, you're trying to show them the fastest way to solve the problem. And that makes sense, because if you want to sell something, if you want to sell a book or a tape or a seminar, what are you going to tell people? We're going to show you the slow way to success? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to tell them we got the answer with a quantum leap answer. And really what it does is it violates the natural harmony of how life works. When you think about it, there is a natural harmony in everything, how it works. You plant your seeds, then you cultivate, and then you harvest. The sad thing is what everybody's doing is trying to tell you, you plant your seeds, and then you cultivate. But the book The Slide Edge is all about is, yes, you have to plant your seeds, and yes, there will be a harvest, but there is a cultivating process, and that anybody can do it, and quantum leap is not the answer. The answer is doing the easy things, the simple little things, and doing them consistently over a period of time, over a long enough period of time to make it work for you. And here's what I found out. This was an interesting thing I learned from a gentleman named Jim Rohn, and I reflect off Jim Rohn a lot in the book The Slide Edge. He said there's, everything to be successful in life is easy to do. He also said that it's easy not to do. I found that very interesting. If it's easy to be successful, why are most people not successful? Because it's easy not to be successful. What he talked about is all the time you have decisions you have to make. What successful people do is they make the simple little decisions, the simple little disciplines, make those decisions consistently over a long enough period of time so literally the compounded effect kicks in. What most people do, though, is they make the simple error judgments. They take those decisions, things that they can do that are easy for them to do, but they make that simple decision not to do it because they believe it doesn't matter at that moment in time. And that's what the book The Slide Edge is all about, is that your decisions do matter. Every decision you make every single day does matter. Every decision does compound, either up or down. Every decision is either going to take you to success or it's going to take you to failure. And it's happening every single second of the day. So that's what the book The Slide Edge is all about. You see, what I have found through my experiences and observations is that most people live what I call an action-oriented life. And that's good. You've got to be in action. You've got to be in movement to be successful. Everything that's directed at you, all advertisements are about action. All books and tapes that you read or listen to are about action. The truth is, if it's just action-oriented, what we do is we tell you how to be successful. We just tell you how to be healthy. We just tell you how to have relationships. We tell you how to have financial independence, and it would happen. But there's two things that have to happen before the actions work for you. And this is very, very important. And again, this is the foundation to the Slide Edge. And what I mean by that, to be successful, you have to have good philosophies, first of all. Philosophies is everything you know. It's everything you know, how you hold it, how it affects how you think, and how it affects what you do. Your philosophies will turn into your attitude. If you have good philosophies, you'll have a good attitude. Your attitude then direct your actions. Now we're at actions. If you have a good attitude, you have good actions. Good actions turn into good results, and good results turn into a good lifestyle. So think about it. If somebody has positive philosophies, again, that comes from the books you read, the tapes you listen to, and probably most importantly, the people you associate with. You have good philosophies that will turn into a positive attitude. That will turn into positive actions, which turn into positive results, positive lifestyle. But if things aren't happening for you, if somebody's out there and they're going through the actions, they're doing the actions they're supposed to do to have success, but they're not having success, usually if you look backwards, what you'll find is they don't have good philosophies. They don't have good information driving the way they think. It's turning into a negative attitude, and they're taking that attitude and doing the actions wrong. Those actions are turning into bad results, turning into a bad lifestyle. So what I've always suggested to everybody, and this is real critical, what the Slide Edge is all about is getting you to create this processor so you can take this information. There's abundance of information that's available. There's more information, again, today than there's ever been. There's more access to information through technology than there's ever been. And taking that information and making it work for you. But to make that happen, you have to have what I call, again, the processor, or you have to have what I call the philosophy and attitude. The Slide Edge is a philosophy. It's a way of looking at information and processing that information so that you have a good attitude that now takes those actions and turn them into good results. It's always been very interesting for me to see seemingly two very, very similar people. And I've seen this over and over in corporate America, small business America, and businesses I've owned and businesses I've run. I've seen people very, very similar to each other, having the same product, the same company, the same opportunity. They're being trained in the same actions. They basically have the same ability to do the same actions. One person takes those same actions in the same marketplace, the same product, the same company, and they have success with it. And the other one takes the exact same thing, seemingly the same quality of a person, and they don't have success. And what you'll find is if you back up and look at those two different people, you'll find one of them has based their life on positive philosophies, positive books, positive tapes, positive associations, that's created a positive attitude. The other person has made a decided decision. They have made a decision that information really doesn't matter. That the people they associate with doesn't matter, and it's turned into a negative attitude. They don't even know it exists. That attitude affects their actions. It's so slight you can't even see it, but eventually that compounds over time, turns into bad results, and they have a bad lifestyle. So again, really the Slide Edge has really been a Slide Edge evolvement for myself. What I mean by that, it's come from a lot of observations, a lot of things I've seen that work, have not worked. When I started that company, that personal development company, and built that TV channel, my goal was to change people's awareness, to give them more access and awareness to information, and use technology to get it to them. As I did that, I realized that environment associations were as important as access to information and technology. But as I went through that process, I realized really, quite honestly, even with people who willingly wanted the information, who were part of the choir, really believed in the information, would have given it to them directly, they still didn't have the processor because they had been trained over time by society, by marketing, by advertising to look for the quantum leap. And that's what led to the Slide Edge. And that is everything you need to do to be successful. It's easy to do. It's easy not to do. With successful people, they do the simple little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them. They exercise those simple disciplines, and they just do them over and over and over and over till the compounded effect kicks in, and it leads them to success. What unsuccessful people do is they make that simple error in judgment. They think it doesn't matter when they make that decision. They think it doesn't matter when they don't do something that day that they should do. Now, what they don't realize is that simple error in judgment